I'm on a super tight, what do you call it, schedule crunch today. A super tight timeline. Boy, it's a bad time to not know where you're going with that sentence, isn't it? Let's do this! Welcome back to Trent Takes On 2.0. That was too loud. Welcome back to Trent Takes On 2.0. I'm Trent from the title of the show. And we're back with another, I'm back, we're back, I'm back, we're back. The Royal We is back with another edition of Friday's headline. This week in the headlines, let's say August, what would it be? 21st to 28th edition? 22nd to 28th edition, something like that. I don't even know. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. Full disclosure, I misplaced my pen for like 6 hours on Wednesday, and I missed like an entire page of notes. So there was stuff that happened that I didn't get down. But let's get cracking from the weekend. The USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier is coming home after over 9 months of deployment because the media got wind of how long it had been out there, and it got out to everybody, and the public outcry was so much that they were like, well, okay, we'll exchange it for a different aircraft carrier. See, it turns out they haven't been able to resupply because the Iranians have destroyed all of the supply bases that we use in the Middle East. So the war still going on. It's going great. But those sailors are on their way home, and that's a good thing. Now, they're just going to be replaced by more guys who are going to be in the same situation before you know it. See the problem here? All right. Anyway, hopefully soon-to-be leader of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, met with Jared Kushner over the weekend in private. Of course, it got out because, nothing is really that private. Raising the question, why are you meeting with that guy? And I'm pretty sure that he should be like one of the very first witnesses we call, mainly because he's not a government employee. But by golly, he's been working on everything from peace efforts to arranging trade deals across the world. So let's find out what he has to do instead of making some sort of backroom deal with him. I don't know that Hakeem Jeffries is going to be the Speaker of the House. I got to be honest. How about this one? Per CBS News, FDA is making plans to end its routine food safety inspections. Well, how could that go wrong? We already have breakouts of Cyclospora, E. coli, and, there's also measles, but you don't get that from food. I'm just saying that it's probably a bad idea to stop inspecting food in general. I mean, seriously? They're going to stop inspecting food? Ugh. Donald Trump's decided that Canada sucks again, and he's going back to trade war with them when they decided to turn him down in the last hour of their trade discussions because he inserted a whole bunch of, oh yeah, by the way, we want this, that, and the other, including we want every single drop of your oil production that you guys don't use. To which the Canadians were like, are you fucking kidding me? Canada has had a really nice response to this. Basically, they've shown Trump the middle finger and said, well, we'll just start working with the EU and China because the United States is no longer a trustworthy trade partner, which is not really a revelation. Easy for you to say. I've heard it both ways. Yeah, we've been an untrustworthy trade partner ever since this guy fucking got the office the first time. How do you make a deal with somebody who doesn't respect any other deals? He doesn't even respect the deals he made. I don't blame Canada at all for this. There was a long time ago that a war with Canada was just a joke that was at the heart of the South Park movie. Now, it's our sad reality. As for Canada's part, they've launched the tariffs right back at us. I believe Doug Ford called him a dumbass. Doug Ford is the premier of Ontario, Canada, basically the governor of the province of Ontario, which is pretty cool. We'll come back to more Ontario fuckery in a moment. Let's see. Over the weekend, somebody dressed as Spider-Man punched Nazi Jake Lang in the head in Minnesota. Just Google that. That was awesome. You got to see the images. That's the thing. It's like Spider-Man's up there fighting Nazis. It's just badass. Google that. Spider-Man punches Jake Lang in the head in Minneapolis. That happened over the weekend. Then Monday, of course, this was the episode that I did a few days ago, which was the SCOTUS decision in Dolly Parton and how much I loved her. And then after I got off that, I found out that Tim Curry had passed away as well that same day. And I was like, well, that sucks because I totally love Tim Curry too. Son of a bitch. But SCOTUS lifted the stay on the... Oh, wait, this was the White House ballroom thing. This is from the weekend. SCOTUS lifted the stay on the White House ballroom construction thanks to the government saying, you can't stop us, so we're just going to keep going, and it's a safety concern if we stop now, which is, yeah, okay, whatever. This just sounds like total bullshit to me, because it is. Also, the other SCOTUS thing happened. We're gonna touch on that in just a minute. Also, on Monday, let's see, we're up to Monday, guys. Economic D-Day was announced by Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent. It was a big wet fart. Nothing to it. No big deal. Bunch of sanctions that probably should have already been in place. They're going to try and starve Iran of trade. Well, you know, your problem is you've alienated all of our enemies so that they can just, they could just turn around and trade with whoever they want because we don't have anybody that has our back anymore because we're just a bunch of assholes doing whatever we want without conversing with anyone. So, neat. Also on Monday out of the AP News, the U.S. is set for its largest mass visa revocation in history, targeting upwards of 200,000 foreigners. These are people who came here on asylum claims or with temporary protected status. And what Rubio and company and the State Department are going to do is just revoke all of those temporary protective statuses and revoke all of those visas and revoke all of those asylum applications. And they want to send everybody home. The phrase that they used was, you may self-deport or we will deport you. These are people who came to the United States for fear that they would lose their lives, that their families would be killed. And they've been here for years. A lot of these are the Haitians in Ohio and others. People who fled horrible instability and are now, they've built lives here. They've had kids. They've been parts of the community. They've been paying taxes. They're following the rules to try and become citizens. And now the Trump regime has decided, no, we got to stick with the racism. So you're out of here. So there you go. Also from Monday, this is a good one. Monday, new reporting out that Donald Trump has gained about 20 pounds since his 2024 presidential campaign. I think it's more than that. And I think they've been lying to you the entire time. They claim now that he weighs 238 pounds. He's 6'3" and weighs 238 pounds. I am 5'11-ish. And I weigh 237 pounds, depending on the day. Sometimes it's 238 and sometimes it's 236. But Donald Trump makes me look like a slender reed. Okay? There ain't no way that fat fool weighs 238 pounds and he's 6'3". 6'3", 238 is the size of an NFL wide receiver. Get out. So anyway, now they're finally admitting that he has gained weight. He's putting on weight. You think? Fat fucker. They can't tell the truth about anything, you know? It's just, and it's so painfully obvious too. And yeah, he has been gaining weight. Been hiding in too many catering carts. On Tuesday, the Department of Justice has threatened to demolish the Kennedy Center because we refused to let them put Donald Trump's name on it again. The fascination with the Kennedy Center is insane. I recommend actually looking into this particular story because it is fucking nuts. Seriously, they want to do what? It's so dumb. Wednesday, mission accomplished. Donald Trump posted some AI slop on Truth Social. This is his thing, man. This AI slop thing, he loves it. That if that alone were the reason to fight against data centers, it would be enough, just to keep Donald Trump from using AI slop. He made this chart of the greatest presidents in American history, and he put himself at the top in the greatest category. And then the next category was almost great, or just great, I think it was. And it was like Lincoln and Washington and FDR. Oh, really? FDR? Okay. He didn't even have Reagan in the list, which is one of the funniest fucking things ever. But down at the bottom, he had a category of failures, and it was Biden and Obama and Jimmy Carter. And I was like, you fucking jackass. Anyway, the mission accomplished slop is an all-timer. It was him depicted as the commander-in-chief, and on his right is the silhouette of George W. Bush with his mission, and it said above him, mission not accomplished, 2001 to 2021. And then on the other side, it says Trump mission accomplished, and it had the Ayatollah on it for some reason. Mission accomplished 2026. Don't nobody tell him that the war is still going on. Dumb shit. It really is a dumb shit. Let's see. Let's talk about the Canadian trade war just one more moment. On Tuesday night, I think they announced it. And then on Wednesday, they did a whole signing ceremony where Donald Trump has renamed Lake Ontario, one of the 5 Great Lakes, as Lake America. So I think this really sums up, again, one of the things that tells you everything you need to know about the Trump regime. Instead of dealing with, I don't know, the war in the Middle East or inflation that is just spiking out of control, largely due to the war in the Middle East that they chose to get into, and the tariffs that they keep throwing on everybody over everything. Inflation continues to just run rampant. The cost of living in this country is out of fucking control. And instead of dealing with anything even remotely close to an issue that the American people have, I don't know. I don't like the secret police that are kidnapping my neighbors, and I don't like the onslaught of data centers destroying the environment even faster than before. And I certainly don't like what they're doing to the American democracy. But his real worry is renaming the Lake Ontario to the Lake America. Lake America. In response, Google and Apple Maps immediately changed Lake Ontario to Lake America, which you guys are fucking cowards. And MapQuest hilariously put out a statement saying, no, we ain't changing the name of Lake Ontario. But here's a patch where you can rename Lake Ontario whatever you want to name it. We restarted with Lake, are we really doing this again? So kudos to MapQuest for being the kind of company I think I would like to work for. Reach out to me if you work for MapQuest and are looking for some sort of spokesman. I would be absolutely pleased as Punch to take over. Then I've got 2 final things I want to talk about. The next thing is a grand jury in Florida found that the DeSantis administration, the governor of Florida, misappropriated $10 million that was supposed to go to children's hospitals, and they instead spent it on political advertising. According to I read this article like 3 times, and I got to be honest, it's confusing as hell. They're saying that it diverted $10 million from a Medicaid settlement into the Hope Florida Foundation, arguing that the transfer was part of a sophisticated scheme to fund political activities, which is what happened. Somebody got a copy of the sealed grand jury report at CBS News. So, basically, Hope Florida is owned or was launched by Casey DeSantis, the governor's wife. They spent money on crazy stuff. But here's the thing. Despite our finding that the money was misappropriated, we find insufficient evidence to charge anyone criminally. Explaining that nobody will take responsibility for deciding that $10 million of taxpayer money would go to Hope, Florida, or had any memory of who made it. Sure. So the nexus for this activity apparently surrounds the state's current Attorney General, James Uthmeier, and the prior Attorney General, a woman named Ashley Moody, who was appointed to the senator's seat left behind when Marco Rubio was made Secretary of State. Moody, of course, is running for Senate and a re-election right now, but apparently she was at the heart of moving this $10 million to Hope, Florida. I don't know why, how much more evidence you need to prove that these fuckers committed fraud. But from the same political party who screams about waste, fraud, and abuse, here is fraud in broad, unequivocal obviousness, and no one's going to pay for it. Shocking. So I did want to really quickly update. This is the last item for the week. I really did want to, because I lost my pen for 6 hours. I did the postal rule on our last show about the post office is not going to deliver mail-in ballots unless you follow this special thing that they have going on, and it includes running through lists with the DOJ, blah, blah, blah. Well, the Supreme Court overturned an injunction saying that rule couldn't go into effect, explaining that the states hadn't been harmed yet because the rule hadn't gone into effect. Well, the rule went into effect, but there was another stay on the same rule in the League of Women Voters case. The same judge was overseeing both cases. She went in and lifted her own injunction, explaining that she used the same criteria that the Supreme Court did by saying that because the rule wasn't in effect yet, she shouldn't have stayed it, and that she wanted the plaintiffs, in this case, the League of Women Voters and other voting rights groups, to amend their complaint and come back. They did. She issued a new stay against the implementation of this rule, this time not based on the prior argument, but based on the constitutionality of power off. There goes my speaker turning off. Based on the constitutionality of the rule itself. So we'll see what happens with that. It's very interesting stuff. Mark Elias and Norm Eisen and a bunch of other lawyers seem to think that they got a chance to get this thing stopped permanently at the Supreme Court. I don't know. We'll see. That was it for the week. I'm going to be back with you next week, where we're going to talk about the next thing that I'm going to take on. Hopefully no more important, famous people that we love will die between now and then. I know it's weird, but I can only take so many of these celebrity deaths in a short period of time. It just messes with me. Anyway, thank you for being with me. Please share this with a friend, and be careful out there. Okay, everybody? Remember, more than anything else, to be good humans. It's the very least we can do. We're all in this together. Until next time, love, peace, and Dolly Parton, and Tim Curry, and Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, and a bunch of other things. Oh, tough week. Love you. Well, hey. Blah, 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 blah. That's my impression of a record player going backwards. Movie idea. Guy wakes up one morning and decides he's tired of what the Trump regime is doing. So he grows his hair long and shaves his beard a special way and starts proclaiming that he is Jesus. And so he goes around as the second coming of Jesus, explaining that the Trump administration regime, is constantly going against his will and that they're all going to hell. Now, the catch is he's not even a Christian and he doesn't believe any of it. So, of course, he knows he's full of shit. The title, Complex Messiah. Boom.